I'm Shivani Gupta, and welcome to the Ask Shivani podcast. I believe that one of the best presents that you can give yourself is time to be able to sit down and ask yourself some questions. I believe that the quality of the questions that you ask yourself will determine the quality of your life. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Ask Shivani podcast. I am so excited. When I read this bio that was presented to me to have Arnaud St. Paul as one of our guests today, I was mesmerized, and I'm so looking forward to diving into this conversation with him. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He's a philanthropist. He's an award-winning serial software, finance, and social impact entrepreneur, and he's been doing that for over 20 years, and he lives between LA and Paris. And as I speak to him today, he's on the Nile, which he can tell us more about. Arnaud went through his awakening when he was 13. And whilst he has a very successful career in finance and technology across many continents, he's now been traveling throughout the world to study different religions and philosophies in his relentless quest to understand himself. His life purpose now is to open billions of hearts and help them find harmony inside out. Welcome, Arnaud.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
When I read a bio like that, I think, tell me a little bit about all those ups and downs of your journey, your highlights and your lowlights that have got to doing what you're doing. And what you're doing now sounds fascinating. So we'd love to have the listeners who are listening in to find out a bit of more about you at a deeper level.
Hello, I can't hear anymore. Oh, here you are. Okay.
Yeah. So tell us about your ups and downs of your journey that have got you to where you have today.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure about the downs, but the ups, or let's say the shifts in my life, or the milestones, so to speak. First, as you mentioned, I woke up spiritually at the age of 13, and that led me on a path to answer the question, who am I? Right? And hence going towards the different practices and philosophies and whatnot. And that has really colored my whole life because it has been always the underlying work, so to speak, where, I was doing my adult work in finance and technology, but in parallel, I was always driving myself towards finding this answer or these answers, and using basically life as a guide, as a way for me to understand myself. And that across the past 30 years has brought many different amazing things, besides being able to upgrade myself, but also to make a sense of what is that human experience we're having through delivering or showing up charts that would or diagrams that would help me make it a framework that I would understand, because I'm a very simple man, and if it's not drawn, I don't get it, and so that's what came together in the past decades. And at the same time, obviously, I was helping other people to be reborn to themselves, to grow on their journey. And it led to about 10 years ago to find my life purpose. So looking at what happened in my life and finding this place where what would be my heart singing, right? What is the note that is the summary of who I am? And that life purpose is to help 1 billion hearts to open, as you mentioned earlier. And so these are basically the two milestones that are of significance in this lifetime. And nowadays, I help leaders and teams to find coherence, find harmony, because it's, like any orchestra, if you don't have harmony between them, then you don't have any music. And that's a bit of an issue. And we are all musicians, even if we're not necessarily using we're the musicians of our own lives, right? And so, yeah, I hope it helps answer your question.
Yeah, that does. I love the intricacies and the details of what you've just said, but I also love the beautiful expanded vision of a billion hearts opening. I think that's a really nice balance around that. I know one of the things I'm always curious about is, in life we all have challenges in our business, in our personal lives, in our family lives. And some people, when they come across a challenge, they have a philosophy of how to deal with it, or they have a process how to deal with it. When challenges come your way, when they're small or large, how do you go about dealing with the challenges?
How do I go about them? Well, these, for me, from my standpoint, life is talking to us, meaning that it is bringing to us some belief systems that were hidden until now, some aspects of ourselves that were not available to our consciousness. And life is bringing them together, and so that I can look at it, and embrace it, and then transmute it into finding further alignment. So helping me to find myself into further alignment. So any situation that happens in life has always been an opportunity for me to find an answer to who am I. And so I learned throughout the days and months and years how to decipher that language that life has for ourselves, and connect to it, and then find the ways to uncover potentials, right? To choose a constraining belief system, which was the one that was hidden, and change it towards an opening one, right? A expansive one. That's the core of my method, actually, beyond the framework, and to help leaders to learn how to do that for themselves.
Yeah, beautiful. And I love this 1 billion people. And so when you look at the future aspirations that you have around opening up 1 billion, talk to us more about not necessarily the how, but is that the future aspiration? Is, look, I've just got to keep opening them till I get around this number? And are there other aspirations that you have in the future?
I mean, it's whether it's 1 billion or 100, in the end, doesn't really matter. It's 1 billion because it's fun. It's fun. It makes me smile, and it puts me in the right frame of mind to invoke alignment towards that goal. Now, I think, yeah, if I were to end up just doing 100 or 1,000, I would still be enough. Now, from my standpoint, I believe that a society that will be driven through empathy, compassion, altruism, through living their lives through love instead of their mind, would be an amazing society to live in. So therefore, I wish that for myself and for my kids, and therefore, why not doing it? And that's a bit the journey on which I am. And opening one's heart is, in the end, just opening to ourselves, to our own inner love that is there. And that can only be positive in any case for any person on this planet.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And I know a lot of people have different philosophies that they live by, or quotes, or things that are really meaning for them that form that cornerstone of who they are. Do you have leadership philosophies or philosophies that you really try and live by? What are the leadership philosophies or philosophies that are really important for you?
I mean, I don't have a leadership philosophy but mine, which is unconditional love. Now we can tie my work with Buddhism, Taoism, Taoism, and a few others, and several authors like Ramana Maharshi, Alan Watts, Neil Donald Walsh, and many others as well on that front. Is there a quote I can share? One that I'm going to make up just right now for you.
That's
so
special.
one is that the one that I have on my website, which is harmony is our birthright. I think this one is quite interesting. And the other, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, yeah, sorry. So harmony is our birthright. That's one of them. And then another is we are love.
Yeah, beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. And I've been seeing a couple of teachers lately wear just love on the t-shirt, and it's, yeah, absolutely beautiful. And I know when you're giving out so much of yourself to others, you're traveling, you're taking your message and philosophies to open up people's hearts and help them live in harmony. What are the things that you do for yourself? So do you have rituals for yourself, whether they're daily or weekly or annually? What are some of the things that you do for you to keep yourself well?
I guess one is a meditation every morning, just to keep the center, right? My center in any case. Annually, I go to a special place in the south of France, in the mountains. That is a bit my anchor, I guess. So thank you for bringing that to my consciousness. I never thought I did that well. And just always, maybe not reminding me, but being present to, my home is in my heart. That's where this is where I am. So wherever I am in the world, it is just being here for me now. And so yeah, that's quite simple. Quite simple.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I think it's amazing that when I'm coming across people that are particularly working at bigger scales, they have some great rituals, whether it's meditation or, in your case, going into the south of France and then connecting back in at a deeper level. And I know if people would like to find out more about you and your work, and read more about some of the work that you're doing, what is the best place for them to find you? How can they follow you? How can they read more about some of your work?
Thank you so much. So if you want to find more alignment, more harmony, more flow, more balance, more peace in your life, or in your company for that matter, well, you can find me on tapuat.com, tapuat.com. It's a Hopi name that means eternal rebirth, and very intentionally chosen because that's the path on which we are, all of us. And so on tapuat.com, there are retreats, conscious guidance, there are workshops and books, and videos that we are sharing as well. And so yeah, subscribe there. I also have a gift to the audience if they want to. I share a highlight of a workshop called 3 Ways to Find Harmony Within, and that may be of help for the people that are part of your audience. And so they go to tapuat.com/harmony, and there they will be able to download it or to watch it, better said.
Oh, that's a beautiful gift. Thank you.
And let's start the conversation around that. Very happy to do so.
Oh, that is absolutely wonderful. I know it's been such a pleasure. I'd love to speak to you for a moment after we stop recording, and I'm just So grateful for your time and so grateful for the work that you're doing around the world. So thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
I'm Shivani Gupta, and you've been listening to the Ask Shivani podcast, where I got to ask some questions. Thank you so much for listening. Please follow Ask Shivani on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And if you haven't done so, please go to the Apple podcast and subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. It would mean a lot. Thank you.